week, in a primetime Thursday night game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Khalil Mack had himself a quintessential Mack performance. With 2 sacks, 3 quarterback hits, 2 tackles for loss, and a pass breakup, Mack was a one-man wrecking ball, completely taking over the game in the second half. For this episode of the Film Room, I'm going to break down the key plays in this game from Mack and go over what this means going forward in the 2020 season. The first play that we'll start with is Mack's pass breakup from late in the second quarter. The Bucs are in a first and 10 situation to start their drive looking to get a score before halftime. Defensively, the Bears are running a stunt between Mack and Akeem Hicks, where Hicks will initially engage the guard before Mack runs into said guard with full force in order to either create a miscommunication between the guard and tackle or free up Hicks and Mack with one-on-one opportunities where they're at an advantage. As the play goes on, we see Gronk at the tight end position start to break open just as Tom Brady is about to fire from the pocket. Instead of an easy completion for a first down, Mack overpowers the guard to get into Brady's face, getting his hand up just in time to harmlessly knock away the pass. This immediately puts the Bucs behind the 8 ball on this drive, and 2 plays later on third down, the Bears defense got their first big play of the game when Kyle Fuller delivered a huge hit on running back Keyshawn Vaughn to force the fumble and give the offense a short field. The Bears capitalized with a quick touchdown on an awesome one-handed catch from Jimmy Graham. And before you know it, the Bears are up 14-13 going into halftime. Later, on the Bucs' first drive of the second half, Mack got his chance to get his first sack. After a big run from Ronald Jones that set the Bucs up in Bears territory, the Bucs are leaving their rookie right tackle Tristan Wirfs on an island to block Mack as the Bears bring a basic 4-man rush. While Wirfs held his own for the most part in this game, this play is a good example of a welcome to the NFL type of moment. We see here at the beginning of the rush that Mack sets up Wirfs with a quick jab step towards his inside shoulder to indicate that he's going inside. This opens up Wirfs' shoulders just enough to give Mack the right angle to attack Wirfs' top side shoulder and use his raw power and explosiveness to push Wirfs right into Brady's lap. On the very next drive, Mack had what should have been his next sack of the game, but it was taken away due to a somewhat controversial roughing the passer call. Regardless, we're not going to touch that play in depth, as just a few plays later, the Bucs were forced into a 3rd and long situation due to a string of penalties. The stage was set for the Bears to pin their ears back once again, and this time, defensive coordinator Chuck Pagano went back to his bag of tricks, calling another stunt for Mack. The Bears are set with 3 down linemen, with Danny Trevathan set up to blitz from the inside. Upon the snap, Trevathan does a nice job of occupying both the guard and tackle, as Mack patiently waits for an opening. Once a gap is exposed in the offensive line, Mack explodes through the guard to get another hit on Brady. This proved to be very significant, as we see that Mike Evans has beat Jalen Johnson deep for what could have been a back-breaking touchdown. Instead, with Brady unable to step into his throw, the ball gets hung up in the air just enough to be inaccurate, and the Bucs are forced to punt. Finally, the last play we'll look at is Mack's second sack, which occurred on the very next series midway through the fourth quarter. The Bucs are in the midst of an impressive drive as they look to retake the lead after the Bears just scored on a field goal. On first down, Mack is once again left on an island, this time with left tackle Donovan Smith, as the Bucs go with a play-action concept to slow down the pass rush. Mack, however, wasn't fooled one bit on this play. We see at the snap that Smith oversets to the outside, giving Mack a free runway to the quarterback. Mack, of course, takes advantage of this, as without hesitation he goes full speed ahead on that inside track. Before Brady can even look to his first read, Mack is in his face and forcing him to the ground. What's important to note here is that all of these plays were critical in stopping or at the very least slowing down potential scoring drives, taking points off the board as a result. With the offense struggling against a very talented Tampa Bay defense and only scoring 20 points, the Bears needed their best player to step up, and he delivered when it mattered the most. Looking back over this 2020 season, we're now 5 games in, and so far, Khalil Mack has played up to his billing as the edge rusher that the Bears paid for when they made that fateful trade back in 2018. Many detractors of Mack and the price paid to acquire him have been critical of his lack of sack production dating back to 2019, of course, but even early on this season. Now, to be fair, it's important to note that this performance against the Bucs was the first multi-sack game of the year for Mack. However, sacks can be misleading, and this is especially the case with Mack, who is playing at an all-pro level right now, even though his 3.5 sacks may not reflect that on the surface. When compared to other edge rushers in the NFL, Mack is in elite company when it comes to pressures, and his run defense has been exceptional as well. According to Next Gen Stats, Mack is among the best edge rushers in the NFL when it comes to both pass rush win rate and run stop win rate, standing alone as a player playing at a high level in both aspects of the game. When looking at my own pass rush tracking data, currently I have Mack with 25 pressures, 30 disruptions, and a fantastic pass rush win rate of 30.63%. All of that is incredible production and puts Mack on pace to accomplish big things for the rest of 2020. All in all, this past Buccaneers game was the culmination of weeks of high-level performances from the Bears' best defensive player. Mack has been playing at an elite level all season long, and now that appears to finally be starting to pay off in the form of sacks and other big plays. Don't call this a return of the Mack, because the Mack has already been here, and he's going to stay here for a long time to come.